Hey everybody, it's Callum. Oh, hold on. Okay. Hi everybody, it's Callum. Welcome back to my channel. I'm in my car right now at the HEB parking lot. No, I felt inspired to come on and shit. Hold on, because I have to pull up my wallet. Okay, something about this car. No, I'm gonna find. No, okay. I'll say this. If you are considering getting a new or just a new car to you, like not like from a dealership, but you're just you want another car. I don't recommend the 2010 Mazda 3 hatchback because, well, the reason, okay, well, I was just struggling just a second ago is because in my last car, which was a 2006 BMW 325 Ci, let me not get emotional. Anyway, though, in that car, and then my car before that, 2007, I think, Chevy Trailblazer, both of those I could put my phone right up here behind the steering wheel, like on the dashboard, like fine, and then like watch like my show or whatever when I wanted to eat in the car. But in this car, I have to put my wallet. Luckily my wallet is so fat. That's what happens when you have a lot of money. Not everybody knows about that, but luckily my wallet is actually literally so fat, and I'll pick it up and show you guys right now. Matches my purse as well, but it is pretty bulky, so I have to put it behind my phone on the dashboard if I want to set my phone up here, or else it will just fall back into like it can't stand up. Okay, my phone can't stand up by itself is what I'm saying, so it needs my wallet. But that's a little bit of an annoying thing. Also, probably the main thing is that it does not have automatic lights. So when it gets dark outside, I have to remember to turn the lights on, and I have been like getting better at it, I guess, because I guess the last couple times I have driven, it has been during nighttime. So like obviously, like I'm gonna find out pretty quick my lights aren't on, but I always have to turn on my brights too, because like I don't know if it's just this like specific car I'm driving, or it's all this car model. But at least you can barely, okay, if it's fucking pitch black outside and there's no street lights, like you can, if you just turn on the regular lights, you cannot see them. Barely, they're barely there. I'm like, do these even work? So you have to turn on the brights, and when you turn on the brights, they look as bright as they do on like, okay, when you turn on the brights, they look as bright as the normal light setting would on any other car, if that makes sense. So keep that in mind. There was something else I didn't like about this damn car. Yes, this problem has been solved, thank you to my mother, but it does not come with a USB plug-in, which the BMW did, and the Trailblazer did, and the Trailblazer did, which I think the Trailblazer did. I want to say that it had the radio replaced. I don't really know, but the BMW I don't think did. Or at least it had the fucking, manual for the radio when I got the car. But I don't think, at least the BMW, I don't think the radio had ever been replaced. But that had Bluetooth, that had a USB plug-in, and this car does have Bluetooth, so I will give it props for that. But you have to buy a car adapter thing to stick it in, and then use that, obviously, if you want to plug up your phone. So for a while there, it wasn't that long, maybe like a month, I couldn't charge my phone in the car, and I was invited by a lovely gentleman to go to the Woodlands. Oh, well, let me not dox myself. Okay, I was invited to go an hour from my house, which is the Woodlands, Texas, to see Korn, Gojira, and Spirit Box at the Cynthia Woods Pavilion. That's an hour from my house, and it was a fantastic concert, and it was free for me as well, so that was amazing. And I never been to that venue before. I actually liked it a lot. So because I always, Korn likes to go there a lot. I know like Breaking Benjamin was there one time. I don't know. There's a lot of like bigger like rock or metal bands that like to go to that venue, but I've always refused to go because I didn't want to sit on the lawn, because it's an outside venue, for those of you who aren't privy. But honestly, going there for free, that also helped a lot. I was like, wait, this venue is actually pretty good, and it had pretty good sound too, actually. So honestly, like, next time like there's a band that I want to see, I might pick up a ticket for myself. I don't know, but anyway, it was a lovely time at that concert. But on the way back, well, first off, I left with maybe like 40% of my phone. I know that was bad, but I knew that, you know, when I left, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna not be on my phone during the concert like that. Get a couple videos, but like, and really, I think I really was not on my phone like that. In my opinion, I really was not on my phone like that. But by the time I left, I think I was at 6%. And mind you, my phone was on low power mode the whole time because I knew like this is gonna be a problem. But I really was trying to do my best not to check it. At one point, I even like turned it all the way off. But anyway, I ended up having fucking 6% when I left. And so luckily though, I really just needed to get out of the Woodlands. Then I just needed to get on like the main like freeway or whatever back, and I would know how to get back from there. So that was like, you know, 50 minutes, like the rest of the ride, like once I just got out of the Woodlands. That's the only thing I needed like directions for. And I also had my Apple Watch with me, so like I didn't have to look at my phone for directions. I could just look at the fucking watch. And, you know, actually props to the Apple Watch. Is actually like a really good like invention. Mine is broken right now, but okay, anyway, I ended up making it out of the Woodlands. So yeah, I turned off directions, and if I wanted to hear a different song, I just use Siri. Well, let me not say it right now, but I'd say, hey, play whatever fucking song. So I was not looking at it all, make sure the screen was off the whole time. And when I got back to my house, it was only at 4%. So we only went down 2% in an hour. And let me tell you, I was scared. I was really scared because I also did not want to listen. I didn't want to have to listen to the radio if my phone died. And I actually had, and this was, okay, that happened. But then even before that, the day where I bought my Louboutins also ended up being about 15-minute drive back to my house. And that one had a much more convoluted way of getting back to my house because there was a lot of traffic out. It's a terrible area anyway, so like I was taking an alternative route home. That one I was scared. That one I left with maybe like 7%. I don't know what percentage I was on when I got back home, but luckily, I mean, I still had to charge my phone. But anyway, you have to get an adapter for this car, is my point. You have to get an adapter for this car. You've got to get an adapter. Okay, and I had gotten 3 adapters, and the third one is now in the car. But the first 2 that I tried didn't work, and I didn't understand because I was like, maybe like the first one, okay, like my mother brought that one, or she bought that one brand new from Amazon, and it wouldn't work. And I was like, okay, well, this is what she said, that maybe it just like, you know, came broken because it was like, you know, from China. But then the second one was from my father. It was one he had, and it wouldn't work either. Then my mother found out that apparently these cars have deeper adapter things. So I would show you, but I'm scared to take it out. I'm not gonna take it out, I'm sorry, but they have, okay, well I have to do this. So a normal adapter plug, let's just say it, you know, it only goes down like that far, and that's as far as like most of them reach. But let's say the one in the Mazda, this car, it's like a little bit further back. So, okay, hold on. So you see what I'm saying? It's like a little, no, I can't demonstrate. Okay, it'd be like a little bit further back. So you need an adapter long enough to reach the back of it. And so this third one, at first it wouldn't work when I plugged it in, but I don't know how my mother did it, but it luckily isn't like far enough now, so now I can plug up my phone, which is great, because I was like, how am I gonna like drive to Dallas or, you know, just anywhere long without having to like charge my phone during all that? Like, that would have been crazy. So that's another thing that I don't really like about it. Actually, like, this video was supposed to be about me talking about this car, but since we're here, the only other thing I can really think of right now is that it does not have a motorized seat. Okay, no, two things. Okay, it does not have a motorized seat. This one bothers me a lot because in the Trailblazer too, like, mind you, that's not a fancy car like a BMW. But both of those cars, I'm pretty sure, had at least the front seat or the driver's seat had a motorized seats to where press a button on the side, moves the chair forward, you know, press it backwards and moves the chair backwards, like stuff like that. This one though, it has the one where I don't really know how you have to pull it up and then it'll move, so like just flies back. So now like if I have to scoot it up, oh my god, it's going back further. I have to really scoot up. I have to really scoot up. Like, seriously? And like the worst thing ever is when I like find out, okay, see, like I'm too far back, I think. But yeah, like the worst thing ever is when I've already turned on the car and like I'm like moving, and then I can like tell, I'm like, oh, I think I'm like too far back. And then, you know, it wouldn't be a problem, and you know, my BMW, for example, because I would just move it forward, or I would just move it back, but I wouldn't feel a need to like I have to park the car. But like this one, like yeah, there have been times where I've been driving and I'm like, I would really prefer the chair to be a little bit closer, but I don't want to like pull over into, you know, on the side of the road or on, you know, to like a parking lot to fix it, because I feel like if I'm driving and try to scoot forward, I could potentially cause an accident. That is really not cool. And then the last thing I want to speak about is that this one out of all these is the least bad, but only with the car on. Okay, this is a two-parter. I just thought about it. Only with the car on can you roll down the windows, because like obviously this one's like rolled down a bit, but like at least in my last two cars, at least the BMW, the Trailblazer was too long ago for me to remember everything about it, but at least the BMW, even if you turn the car off, you still have, you know, like a couple minutes before like the battery turns off, to where if I want to roll down the windows, roll it back up, like it'll do that, you know, for a couple minutes after I turn the car off, and then the battery will turn off, I guess, and then it'll be done. And if you want to like do anything with the windows, you have to turn the car back on again. So I'm used to that. And you know, when I'm doing like curbside at fucking, you know, Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or some shit like that, like I'm used to turning my car off first, then rolling down my window. This one, roll down the window first, then turn the car off. Now this window will work for, I don't want to say longer than 30 seconds after you turn the car off, but the passenger side won't work. And this is just a pet peeve of mine. Okay, this is why it's a little bit hard to downgrade from a BMW to a bare bones car like this. But this one, I believe, actually maybe I'm wrong, because now that I'm thinking about it, but I think if you press it once, like if you press up on the button once, I can't remember if it goes up automatically without you having to hold it up. I can't remember. Now I will say though, when you click it down, it will go all the way down without you having to hold it down, which I do like. Yeah, I mean, it's really not that big of a deal, but it's just something I have to get used to. But I will say this about the BMW, the fun parts: heated seats, BMW convertible top. It had the best wiper system I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but there was a setting on it. I'm telling you guys for real. Once I clocked that this is what it was, because I always thought that this wiper setting I'm about to talk about was just, you know, a lower setting where it wouldn't go as fast. You know, if it was like sprinkling out or just not raining very hard, this was like a lower setting. This wasn't that long ago when I still had it. This had to have been maybe in like June or July. It was very, very recent when I clocked that. It wasn't a lower setting. How do I say this? The wipers went to how much rain was on the windshield. So if you had it on this setting, if it was sprinkling, it would go slow. But on the same setting, if it started to speed up a lot, or there, it got very, very heavy rain, it would start going really fast. So it wasn't just, automatic where, oh, this is a low setting, this is a high setting, whatever. It was like, it was so intuitive is really the word, I guess. It was intuitive and was picking up on how much rain was hitting the wipers, and that's how fast or slow it would go. That was incredible stuff. Seriously, that was actually incredible stuff. What else? This is something I don't like about this one either. My mother's car does the same thing. I don't think the Trailblazer did this either, so I don't know why it's just these two cars I know that do this. But when it comes to, when I am playing my music, in this car, I don't know how to make it go through. I only have it on Bluetooth. Even when my phone is plugged up to the charger, I don't know how, I don't know how to get it to connect to where it's playing through, like the iPod, through the connection. I only know how to get it to play through Bluetooth. And in my mother's car, I can only do it, or I only know how to do it by plugging the phone in. So that car doesn't have Bluetooth. So this isn't a Bluetooth problem, is what I'm trying to say. But if I go to skip a song, it will wait, like, I want to say 3 seconds. It feels so long, but it maybe won't be, or it's maybe not 3 seconds, but it feels like 3 seconds. I click skip. 1, 2, 3, then it'll finally go to the next song. Now, this car is better than my mother's car, because this one, if there's the songs playing that I'm not fucking with, and it's like a bunch, like all at once, like, skip, like, like that type of skipping, it will go through all of them. I will hear the beginning of each song, even if I am skipping like that, like not even giving it a second to play. I have to hear the beginning of like each song, just like the first second, and like it's just like a delay and like a lag for it to catch up. And it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not worse than my mother's car, I have to say. Like hers is, I mean, if you skip 2 songs too fast, it will just lag and stop for a second and then go like back a song. I'm like, what are you doing right now? I do not care for that. So this one will at least. It is, I don't want to say going fast, it is on a delay. Maybe if I find or figure out how to connect it through the connection, so it's not going through Bluetooth, it's going through the iPod connection, maybe it'll be faster, because Bluetooth, when you have AirPods in and you're trying to record a video, like sometimes the video, I don't think this really happens anymore, but at least at first with AirPods, just the sometimes there is a delay when things are wireless. So I'm thinking, maybe at least in this car, it is, the problem is that it's wireless. But in my mother's car, that's just a design flaw. I don't really know how else to say, because that one is going through iPod, and we're having that. It's having a worse problem than this car. I will say about this car, also, if you turn it on, it says zoom zoom on the dashboard, and then hello, and then when you turn it off, it says goodbye. So that's beautiful. And when I figured out how to connect it to Bluetooth for the first time, it would take, the way you had to do it, I can't really remember exactly, like the steps or whatever, but it would ask a question and you would have to answer through your voice. So it would ask you a question, you would say yes. It asked a question, you would say no. Like it wasn't buttons. And then there was at one point where it had me create a password, which I don't even know what it is anymore. Like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't even know. But it had me create a password so that when I went to Bluetooth on my phone, it would ask for that password so that I could connect it to the car. And so it asked me for a password, and I was like waiting for it. I was like, I was confused. Like I didn't know if it was asking me to like create one or if I was supposed to already know what it was. But no, it was asking me to create a password. And so I said, I don't even know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it played my voice back saying 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever I set for the password. And I was like, okay, interesting. I'm a little confused why we had the budget to do voice recording and playback and the time to put in zoom zoom, hello, and goodbye, but did not have or take into consideration automatic lights whenever it gets dark outside. That one especially, because I'm like, how? Mind you, again, this is my newest car. My BMW is 2006. The Trailblazer was 2007. The lights turned on automatically when it was dark outside. That minimum. And they had USB cords. So what is actually going on? I don't know how this is the newest car I've had. And it's... I don't know. I don't really understand it at all. So I really wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's fine. Maybe for like, you know, a first car for somebody. But you know, like I was saying, it's... I wasn't expecting, you know, a non-luxury car to have the same like cool stuff, you know, like extra cool stuff as, you know, BMW obviously. So of course, yeah, I wasn't expecting heated seats. I wasn't expecting the cool wipers. I feel like there's something else I'm missing on the BMW that was like really, really cool, but regardless, I wasn't expecting to have, you know, any of the extra cool stuff. I was expecting the lights to turn on when it got dark outside. Okay, I will say that one minimum. And I guess I didn't realize it. I guess I was expecting to have a motorized seat and not a, not a, like a lever. I don't know what you would call those. Yeah, this wasn't supposed to be about my car. I saw actually, okay, well, I wanted to come on here because I actually saw a tweet where, I don't remember exactly what the original tweet said, but it was a video of a woman holding, I guess, like a nice big like plate of food, and somebody said or no the caption on that video said like, what would you do if this girl stole your man by making him like a big plate of food? It was like something to that effect. And then like somebody quote tweeted that and said, if she can steal my man by making him food, then she can keep the fat piece of shit. Literally. I found that funny. I don't know why that inspired me to make a video. I don't even know about what. Then I started talking about this, but that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you want to see any more of my videos and get notified for it. Then I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.